today's episode. Now, today I'll be concluding my interview with Boni Tapera. It's the third and final part. I would actually encourage you, if you haven't already, to actually go back and watch parts 1 and 2. Then you can come back and continue with today's episode. Now, if I think of what we talked about last week, what we watched on part 2 of the video, I think the thing that stood out to me was when Boni was giving us an insight into the fact that, when death comes, you eventually have to start moving on with your life, as do the people around you who have been supporting you, your family, your friends, and so forth. But the thing is, God is always there in the background to help you and to heal you. And I find that very encouraging and very strengthening. So let's carry on today and hear the conclusion of the interview.
So that is one of the things, the people, interestingly enough, most of my friends know that I'm a bit of a hard nut to crack. So I have a friend, the one that really makes me laugh, I have a friend who will say, okay, we'll have coffee next week. So I'll say, okay. Mm-hmm. The night before, she will send a message, are we having coffee tomorrow? Yes. The morning, are we having coffee today? Yes. An hour before she leaves her house, are we having coffee today? Yes. Because grief, you 1 minute you can move from we are laughing, yes, the next minute I'll be weeping. So I appreciated her because she understood that she can't even explain what's going on with me. So she kept on checking. Sometimes people have problems helping the bereaved because they make it about themselves. So Tsungi wants to feel good. She comes and ministers to Boni, so she can go home and say, ooh, I ministered to a widow today.
That's a very interesting perspective, actually.
Yes, I told you I'm good.
This is what we want to hear. We're interested in your story, and it is one powerful story, I must say. It's really powerful.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
So God has really just sustained you, and you can see that
God
you're still here today.
Me. I had to take practical measures. I had to go to my doctor. I had to go for counseling. I had to do everything, spiritual, physical, and just take care of myself. Sometimes people shy away from the word depression and antidepressants and things like
mental
that.
Health issues.
Mental health
Yes.
issues. That's not how it goes.
It must have been a difficult time as well, I'm sure, for the children.
Yes. And I think that's where you really see the hand of God. The youngest, Samuel, was doing his O-levels when we got the diagnosis. When we went to South Africa for radiation, we had to spend 4 weeks. He had to move in with friends so that he could write his exams. He was doing his A-levels. It's the year that his dad went to be with him. Yeah. John, our oldest, the youngest grandchild, came after his dad. Tinashe, the middle child, he was doing a psychology degree, and he had just decided to do an accelerated master's. Okay. So I went to his graduation by myself. And in all those things you keep thinking, this is not how it was supposed to be. I do not understand. And Samuel missed him being led into manhood. Tinashe missed that my husband had a very different way of thinking. So he missed that man who would have guided him regarding his career choices. After I do my master's, what should you think I should do? John missed introducing his son to his grandfather and just having his father lead him into fatherhood. So each of them missed different aspects, and it's such a pressure because I can't be all those. I can't be all those things. because I had, my role was very clear. I was the mother, and everything to do with manhood, he had taken care of so well. So I can't even begin to imagine how they grieved. And also we're not together.
They're out of the country.
They're out of the country. So I have to rely on telephone calls, email messages. But God has been gracious. I've been able to spend each year, I think maybe 3 months. So God has made a way.
He certainly has. You're a living testimony.
Yeah, but
It's not easy.
it is not easy. It is not easy.
Wow, I'm speechless. That is so powerful. You know, I thank you very much, Boni, for just taking the time to come and share your heart and you know, say out what a lot of people cannot say out. It's a difficult testimony, but it's also a very powerful testimony. So I just want to thank you so much. I think a lot of people will be impacted and a lot of people will be inspired, definitely.
Thank you.
So we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome, Boni.
So there you have it. That's the last part of the interview, and today was really loaded. But I think one of the things that really touched me, maybe I can call it a highlight, was that Boni was talking about how, you know, when death comes and you're starting to move on with your life, you have to look after the whole person, your spirit, your soul, and your body. And she was talking about how obviously the spiritual angle we've been talking about over the last 2 videos and today as well, where you hold on to your relationship with God, but then you also have to do some practical things for your soul and your body. She's talking about looking after yourself physically, and I'm sure that includes things like, you know, eating well and making sure you have enough rest. And then for your soul, there's mental health issues, because obviously when there's death, there are things like depression, confusion, and you need to actually go and do something practical like seek out a doctor or a counselor or someone like that to actually help you to get through that time. I really enjoyed this interview with Boni Tapera. I learned a lot. It really impacted me, and I hope that somehow, some way, it's going to help someone out there. I think it was very courageous of her, and I'm very, very grateful for this interview. Now, I will be interviewing other people. In fact, I've got another interview lined up quite soon. But for next week, I'm doing something totally different. You will want to subscribe and not miss out and stay tuned. So make sure you do that. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time.